Hello. Just get this sorted a minute. Oh, hello. Welcome to Wednesday's class. Just before we start, I'll just keep mentioning this all the way through. There is no class next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is a classless society, unless you want to. I mean, if you want to do it, then just go onto the website and upload one or use one of the older ones. Right. So today, I sort of lost touch of going through the alphabet, so I think we're sort of up to H, but I'm not absolutely certain. But anyway, I thought I'd talk today about the high intensity interval training, HIIT. And we do this at the end of the class, you know, the 20 seconds, 3 times 20 seconds running on the spot that you do. And I always seem to be trying to explain it just before we do it. So I thought I would just have a little talk about it. Now, the benefits of high intensity are the same for older people as they are for younger people. It takes less time as well, as much as anything, but it's good for your heart and lungs. It gets your blood pumping. It's good for visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that you can't see that's attached to your organs, not this stuff that you can grab hold of. And I think the way we do it here, I think it gets you used to being puffed out. Quite a lot of people get quite scared of being breathless, and it gets you used in a safe environment to being a bit breathless. And I think it's quite important, even as we get older, to be a bit breathless. And we only do it for 20 seconds. Well, we do it for a minute, don't we? With a rest in between. Sorry, I should say high intensity interval training. It means that you do something at quite high intensity. You exercise at quite high intensity to make yourself really puffed for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, depends. And then you have quite a long rest. So you maybe say you exercise for 30 seconds really hard, you would rest for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So we do it 3 times if you do both classes, you do it twice a week, but it's not very long. And I was thinking that if you are doing the 6K daily steps challenge, see that keeps popping up, or if you're walking, you know, the 6K daily steps challenge is the challenge where you walk 6,000 steps every day. There's stuff about it on my over 50 fitness page, so the link to that is in the comments section if you want to have a look at that. But really, it's just to challenge you to walk at least 6,000 steps. 60,000 would be quite a lot. 6,000 steps every day. I know the holy grail seems to be 10,000 steps, but that's based on absolutely nothing. It was a number plucked out the air by one of these pedometer Fitbit manufacturers. I know Fitbit's it's a proprietary name, so it wasn't necessarily them. I'm not blaming them. So 6,000 steps, anything under about 5,000 steps a day, and you're classed as sedentary. 6,000 steps a day is the minimum really that you should be doing. So in that 6,000 steps, when you're walking those 6,000 steps, I mean, I don't mean you to go out and do 6,000 steps, but if you're going to do your half-hour exercise every day that the government recommends, where you should be walking, doing something that makes you a bit puffed, and it can be broken up into 10-minute slots. Try a little bit of HIIT, high intensity stuff. So if you're out, walk really briskly for 30 seconds, and then maybe walk normally for 5 minutes, and then really briskly. You could do it for a minute if you wanted. Give it a go. You could either do it timed, so get yourself a stopwatch and do, most watches have stopwatches these days, and do it for a minute, and then 5 minutes more leisurely walking. Or you can do what we runners call Fartlek. Stop giggling at the back there, I can see you. Fartlek is I think it's a Swedish word, and it means speed play. And so you walk very briskly as you feel like it, and then when you get really puffed, you think, oh, this is bad, slow down again. And then once you've recovered and you feel like it, speed up again. And it'll make a walk more interesting. It'll break it down if you're timing it, Or you might say, right, I'm going to do fartlek between those two lampposts and really, really go for it. Remembering using your walking technique, using your whole foot, nice and upright, using your walking technique. So high intensity should maybe be built in a little bit in to your everyday stuff, because if you only saunter, then you'll only ever be able to saunter. Whereas if you mix it up a bit, it's more interesting, and it makes you fitter. What's not to like? And it's now 11 o'clock. So that's high intensity interval training for you. So welcome to today's class. If you're new, you'll need a chair without arms, and ideally a band. But if you don't have a band, you can still do the movements of the exercise. Some of the exercises we don't use bands anyway, but the ones that do use bands, you'll need to just do the movements of the limbs or whatever bit of the body you're moving. You'll still get benefit from it. Right, so last week I changed it a bit. I've changed it a bit again this week. It's just I keep tinkering with it just to see that I'm happy with it. But we're going to sort of we start off with a warm up, then we do the main body of the exercise, and then we have some stretches. So I'll explain most of the exercises as we go through, but I try not to spend too much time talking, which is really hard for me. So without any further ado, we'll start the warm up. And we'll just start walking on the spot, just very gently. And you can walk on your toes if you can, because it's good for your ankles, it's good for your toes, it's good for your calf muscles. So we're just going to very gently walk on our toes. Now, we're going to do this for another 3, 2, 1. Now, you can keep walking if you want. Put your hands on your shoulders and just stretch your hands up. Give yourself a good stretch. Try and get your arms by your ears. If you can't do that, just get your arms wherever they feel comfortable. Don't try and force them. The object of the exercise is to get your arms where you can get them. And you can keep walking if you want. Warming up the lower limbs at the same time as you're doing your upper limbs. Hands on the shoulders, back, out again, in, forward, back, and then a nice stretch, and then down, out, in, forward. One more time. So up, down, out to the side, front, and stop. Next, we're going to put your hand on your shoulder to make your arm like a wing, and imagine you have a pencil sticking out there. So we're going to do 5 big circles back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice range of movement. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do the same with the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one we're going to do for the arms. I'm going to warm the arms, really warm the arms up. This is a sort of strength exercise as well as warming up. One hand comes up to your ear or wherever you can get it, and the other one goes back, and then you alternate. So that's 1, 2, don't move your back, it's only 3, it's only your arms that move. 4, 5, nice straight back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fabulous. Last one on the arms. Have your elbows at 90 degrees, and you're just going to bring your arms in, touch your elbows together. If you can't get them together, just bring them to where you can get them. Never ever force anything. So that's 1, 2, going to do 10, 3, 4, 5, 6. I find this one quite taxing. 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, give your arms a bit of a wiggle, because that's, although it was a warm up, it does, you do start to feel it. Right, we're going to go into our little routine. So you're just going to do heel digs. This is still the warm up, and anchor your elbows. And at the same time as you're doing a heel dig, heel dig like that with your toe pulled back. At the same time as you're doing a heel dig, you're doing a bicep curl with your opposite arm. Make sure that you're doing opposite arm and leg. So this exercise, or these sets of exercises that we're going to be doing, they are good for your coordination. They're good for your balance, because even if it's only momentary, you're standing on one leg. They're good for strength. 3, 2, 1. To be continued. Little step out to the side next, and at the same time prayer hands, and you're pushing out. So yes, so they're good for your strength, because particularly on this one, you're standing on one leg, so one leg is having to support you while the other one is just pointing out. So they are warming you up, and you can do them as gently as you like. They don't put really much strain on any joints or anything. They're very good for you. 3, 2, 1. Next one is take a step back. And at the same time, little dinosaur handies, pushing your arms out. Spread your fingers, the jazz hands. Give your hands a bit of a workout. Remember, have the headlights on your knees pointing forward and your hips pointing forward. So don't sort of twist your body as you do it. Try and keep everything pointing forwards. 3, 2, 1. And last one, we're just going to tap toes and swing your arm. I had my second dose of vaccine this morning. Just thought I'd let you know that. Don't know why. 3, 2, 1. Right, we're going to put that all together. So this is where coordination and brain power comes in. So heel dig, side, back, toe tap. 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 One more time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, how's that? You feeling all warmed up and raring to go? The first one, we're going to start the exercises now. The first one we're going to do is the squat. Now this one takes the most explanation. If you haven't joined the class before, this one takes the most explanation. Ooh. Hello, Prue. Well, yeah, I mean, if anything, it hasn't really had time to get into my system yet, Prue. So if I collapse, it'll be this afternoon. Right, so squat, yes. This is the one that needs the most explanation. So those of you that know how to do it, I'm sorry. Those that are new, follow along. So a squat is sitting without the chair. Remember, your knees don't come in together. The knees stay pointing that way. And you don't put your knees over your toes. It's as if you were sitting down. You don't need to go down very far. You can go down to there, as long as these muscles are holding you up, or further down. If you can't manage a free squat with good technique, if you're trying to do a squat, some people I'm going to do this squat, but their technique is really bad because their legs are not strong enough yet, and you risk injuring yourself. Your knees will start to feel it. So I would prefer you to maybe start in a chair. I'm going to do it this way, actually. Have your hands here. Your knees are still, thighs are parallel, and you stand up and then back down again, and standing up and back down. If that's difficult, swing your arms and use momentum to get yourself up and back down, failing which, use your hands. But the object of all these squats is to be able to get you to get out of a chair without using your hands, just to be able to stand up. Okay, so 10 squats. I'll start sideways so that you can see where my knees are in relation to my toes. So I'm going down. 1, here's the dog. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll turn this way so you can see what my knees are doing. 6, remember the headlights on the knees again. 7, 8, 9, 10. Brilliant. Right. For this one, you're going to be sitting down. This is one of the new ones that we did last week. And if you don't have a band, just do the arm movements that we're going to do in a moment. Take your band, put it under the seat of your chair, so it's like that. And have it far enough back on the chair so that when you do this, it's behind you. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. So maybe do it this way. It might be easier for you to see. And your hands are here. I'll have to face you again. Okay, so technically this is probably a bit difficult to get started. Right, so have your hands here, and we're just going to push up. 1, 2. Have the tension. 3, so that it's challenging. 4, but not impossible. 5, 6. This is what I mean. Sometimes it might be a good idea. 7, that's 8. It might be a good idea to have different. 9, one more. Different strengths of bands, because the one that we're going to do in a moment, the one where we use our, we're not going to do this just at the moment, but the one where we use our leg, you can have a much stronger band than you can with the one where we're doing this one, because these muscles are much weaker than your leg muscles. So that's why it can be a good idea to have more than one strength of band. Right, we're going to do strengthen these muscles here. And it's called rock the boat. So I'm just going to lift one leg like that with your toe pointing forward. And we're not going to kick it up, and we're not going to let it fall. We're going to lift it up and place it down. And we're going to alternate legs, and we're going to do 10 on each side. You can hold on if you want. If you feel you don't need to, well done, but I'm going to hold on because I want to concentrate on what my legs are doing, not what my balance is doing. So we're going to go 1, 2, try not to rock to the side. 3, try and keep your torso upright. 4, I mean, it will move. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, I can feel that there. I really like that one more than just the one that we did that used to just hold it static. I like the movement of that one. Right. We're going to go back. This is one I took out, but I've put back in because I've looking at the what we were doing. We seem to have very few arm exercises. So we're doing the bicep curl. So if you don't have a band, just do the movement. So stand on your band, anchor your elbow into your waist. I know the top of my head has been cut off, but never mind. Who needs the top of the head? And then have the tension on the band such that if you were to release your arm totally, it would flop down. So tension on the band so that you actually have to use muscle to keep your arm, your forearm at about 45 degrees. And then we're just shutting the arm. You're not lifting that at all. There's no lifting, it's just closing the arm. So that's 1, 2, nice and slow and controlled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then swapping over to the other side, anchoring your elbow there, and 1. Oh, I've got this one a bit more tension on this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Right, we're going to do that knee extension one that I was saying before. So sit on the chair and sit fairly far forward on the chair. And you're going to bring one knee up like that and loop the band around the instep. This is the starting point of the exercise, and you're going to just push that down to the floor. When you're doing it, the temptation is, when you've got it down there, because you're holding on to it, the temptation is that your legs to come up and then go in. So it does that sort of a movement, but it's not. It's just down to the floor and then back up in a controlled manner, down to the floor. So try not to do cycling. It can be difficult, and this one you can have quite a strong band because your leg is very strong. So I know some people find it difficult to get their knee up like that. Just as usual, do what you can. So holding this quite tight, we're going to go 1. So what you're doing is you're strengthening. 2, you're pushing movement. 3, and then you're having to control it. 4, as it comes back up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I find it easier with my right leg than my left leg. I'm a bit more uncoordinated, and I sometimes tend to want to cycle a bit on this one. Right, other leg. You ready? So 1, just pushing it up. 2, a lot of these exercises, it's controlling your body as well. 3, it's making your limbs do what you want them to do. 4, you don't want your leg to be coming up like that. 5, so don't let it. 6, your brain controls it. 7, hasn't got a mind of its own. 8, hello baby boy. 9, it's got to have operations, the dog. 10, she's got poorly shoulders. Right, knee extension. Right, I've changed this one slightly. It's the balance one next. Now, I haven't really practiced this, so I don't know how it's going to go. This is the one where we would do this and do round the clock. But I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, well, yes, it's good for your balance, that, but it's a rather unnatural movement. I mean, you don't ever need to do this with your leg, do you? Unless you're on Strictly or something. And I thought I would have an exercise, a balance exercise, that maybe was a bit more mimicking of what we need to use our limbs for. So what we're going to do is, instead of we're going to put your hands on your hips if you can. You can hold on again, remember. And we're just going to lift the knees up as high, well, until they're parallel with the floor. And we're going to try and do it without holding on and without stumbling all over the place, which is what I was doing this morning. So we're going to engage core. So breathe out. Pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can, and then release it slightly. Hands on hips, or one hand on hips, the other one on the chair. And we're going to do 10 on each side. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and keep your back straight. 5. Don't bend forward. 6, 7. See what I mean? 8. I'm getting tired now. My balance is going. 9, 10. Got something wrong with this hip here. So doing that really puts a strain on it there. I don't know what it is. But I think that's much more, you know, if you're out in the country, somebody mentioned to me the other day that they were finding it difficult to get over a stile. So just practicing raising your legs like that, getting it over the stile. I think that's more useful than doing that. And it is still a balancing one. And as I was getting tired, you probably noticed I was meandering a bit. You could walk like this. Pretend that you're in the Ministry of Silly Walks when you're outside. Do it in the privacy of your own garden. Anyway, a little bit of feedback on that would be quite nice, how you found it, whether you found it. If you find it difficult, you see, that's good, because that means that you need to practice it more. Right, knee extension. Oh, my favourite, side bends. So we're going, if you're just going to the side, if you're putting your hand over your head, keep it straight so that you're using your muscles. Okay, 10 on each side. Right, so down we go. I am keeping this one always because it is so good. It's really good for your core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Try not to quaver my voice. 10. Other side. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. A thought occurred to me then, because I was thinking about bite-sized exercises and doing these. But because these are functional fitness exercises, find ways to use them in everyday life. Like I said, somebody had told me they were cleaning out their greenhouse and they were using their squats. So if you drop something on the floor, use a squat to pick it up. If something's on a high shelf, try and do it with good technique. Keep your back straight rather than just immediately going for the easy option. If you're going upstairs, if you're confronted with stairs, use the stairs. Anyway, yes, so use it in everyday life. Abs now. So this is the one where you sit sideways on the chair. Seems to be quite a lot of exercises today. Getting your money's worth. So sit on the chair and sit so that your feet are comfortably on the floor, sitting up nice and straight. You could do that with your arms just to check that your back is straight. Bring the arms down, push them forward at shoulder height, and you're just going to lift. This is a bit like the other one, but I want you to try and get your thighs as close, your legs as close to your chest as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How was that? I'm just seeing whether, I don't think leaning back makes any difference. You can lean back if you want, but sometimes you hurt the small of your back if you lean back. Right, one more time. Just make sure your back's straight. Hands out here, shoulder height. And we're going to go 1, 2. Try not to lean your body forward like I was doing then. 3, try and keep sitting upright. 4, it's quite hard this, isn't it? 5, 6, 7. My arms are getting tired now as well. 8, 9, 10. Whoa, that hurt my arms as well. Right, because they're so good for you, we're going to do another 10 squats. Putting you through it today, aren't I? Or 10 stand-ups from the chair if you're using the chair, whatever suits you. We're going to go 1, 2. Remember, get that bottom back. 3. These should be slightly easier than the first ones, maybe, because you're a bit more loosened up. 4. Nice and slow. 5, 6, 7. Have your feet nice and wide. 8 makes it easier. 9, 10. Fabulous. Just to finish before we go into our routines and the high intensity stuff, we're just going to have the chair here at your side and we're just going to do some leg swinging. Just nice and relaxing for your legs after they've been puffing. Right, so we're just going to go. Remember, you stay upright. So you could check that you're upright. And we're going to go 1, 2. Just let your legs swing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the same with the other one. Make sure you're up, back's nice and straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep your leg as straight as you can when you do that. Right. To finish off the routine. So, ready? Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. 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 Heel dig, side, back. You're keeping up. Toe tap. Heel dig, side, back. One more time. Toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Did you see what I did there? Oh, just got a bit faster. Right. As if that wasn't exhausting enough for you, we're now going to do the high intensity the high intensity, where are we? Clock, that's what we want. Yes, the 3 20-second bouts of high intensity exercise. So, and remember, if you can, it's running on the spot, but it's hardly running. It's hardly bringing your toes off the ground. So if you've got slightly dodgy knees and you feel you can't do it, give it a go and see what happens. Because there's very little impact. If you really can't do that, have your feet hip width apart and do punching, but it's straight out. You're not doing this, it's straight out. But it is more beneficial if you can do the running on the spot. On your marks, set, go. Woof, glad I'm not doing that. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. How was that? Did you manage to do the running on the spot? That was good. So you did 20 seconds. So I'll give you, I'll give you 30 seconds rest. A minute's too long just to stand doing nothing. So I'll give you 30 seconds. Just to give you an idea of what it feels like to rest for, to do high intensity for 20 and then to rest for 30. So we're just coming to that 30 now. Maybe quicker than the rest was maybe shorter than it normally is. Anyway, are you ready? On your marks, set, go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Right. Oh, I was going to say something. Oh, no. Oh, yes, we're on the rest bit. I was going to say something deep and meaningful, but I can't remember what it was. Never mind. I hope we're on the break and we are not running because it's 24 seconds now. Right, that's your 30. Third one, I think. Pretty certain it's the third one. Right, on your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. Was that 3? I did. I'm feeling, I don't know. If I get distracted, it just goes out my brain. Right, just a few announcements before we go into the stretching. Remember, there's no class next week. 14th of March, April, 14th of April, there is no class. And if you've enjoyed the class, you can buy me a coffee, and the link to that is underneath. Coffees cost £4. And if you want to know anything more, particularly about I'll put something up about high intensity on the Facebook page. So if you want to access that, the link is there. And I think that's it. Monday's class is on as normal, the strength class, if you do that one. So without further ado, we'll go back. Oh yeah, just before we do that, I'd quite like some feedback, because the class today, it feels like it's been quite a good workout today. It feels tougher than it normally is. I mean, the rule is that you do what you can. You don't have to do every single exercise, 10 reps of every single exercise, because if you could do that easily, you wouldn't need this class. You would need a more advanced class. But I've used it up a bit. So I'd quite like a bit of feedback on it. See if you like it, things you like, things you don't like. I think I quite like it, but we'll see what you think. Right. As usual, calf stretch, front leg bent, back leg straight, heel on the ground, and leaning forward, both legs pointing the same direction. And just gently bend your back leg. Feel the stretch moving down into your Achilles. And then switch. And bend your back leg. And then stand up. Quadriceps stretch, if you can, grab your foot and have the stretch here. If you can't do that, put your hands behind your back and just try and kick your hands. If you can't kick your hands, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're doing this is stretching that muscle. I'm going to do static because I'm going to practice my balance as well. Never do one thing if you can do 2 or 3 things at once. And then switch legs. If you're doing the dynamic stretching, keep doing that. Okay. Hamstrings. So sitting well forward in the chair, sitting up nice and straight, just check you're straight. Knees at 90 degrees, one leg forward, toe pulled back, sitting up nice and straight, lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. And then sitting up and switching to the other side. Toe pulled back, sitting up nice and straight, forward from the hips. And then sitting up again. Right, the next one we're going to do is to stretch your hip flexors a bit. I don't know how effective this is. Sit sideways. So you're sitting sideways. You're sitting sideways and at the edge of the chair so that it doesn't get in the way when you do this. So you're sitting back. Torso's nice and upright, body's nice and upright. And this leg is back as straight as it can. If you can only get it to there or there, it's whatever is right for you. Oh, I press there. You know that pain you get when you massage something, and it's almost a pleasant pain. Ooh. And then turning around and doing the other side. Must get this hip fixed actually, because it is impinging on my walking at the moment, which the dog is not happy. Well, would not be happy about if I curtailed the walks. Although he's on limited walks at the moment. Sorry, I should let you concentrate on what you're doing. And then standing up, arms at shoulder length, palms facing forwards, round the oak tree, so it's like that rather than like that, round like that, so that you're opening up your back, and dip your head. And then hand behind your back. Interlink your fingers if you can. If not, just try and get your elbows together. If you can interlink your fingers, lift your arms up. And that gives you the stretch here. And then sitting down again. Remember, don't use the chair to support you. Sitting nice and comfortably, just dip your head, put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Just let the weight of your hand push your head down. And then look up. Turn your head to the left, just your head, not your shoulders. Put your right hand on the right hand side of your face. Try and turn your head back to the center, but resist with your hand. Get a lot of tension going in your neck. And then release and see if you can turn your head a little bit more to the left. See if you've just got that tiny bit more mobility. Hold it there for a couple of seconds, and then bring it back to the center. And then turn it to the left. Ooh, I'm quite stiff on this side. Put your left hand on the left hand side. Try and turn your head back. Push, 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 push. And then release. See if you can turn your head a bit more. And bring it back to the center. There we go. So I'll see you on Monday, or if you don't do the Monday one, 2 weeks today. No class next week. Okay, thank you for attending. Bye.